Number 8, Pinwheel from 1977 to 1984. And plus, I think it was rerun also from 88 to 90. All right, here you go. Here's your curveball here, ladies and gentlemen here. This is definitely a bit of a lesson there for you. Okay, now, Pinwheel, for those of you that do know, is a show that was on Nickelodeon back in the day. And believe it or not, Nickelodeon used to be called the Pinwheel Network. But before that, well, here's the thing. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Pinwheel was originally a show on a local cable channel that was attempting some sort of interactive service called Cube, Q-U-B-E. Oddity Archive did a great video about the Cube service and whatnot there, which I highly recommend checking out, although they don't bring up Pinwheel because I don't think that was one of the interactive segments that was on the show, was on the network there. But the show ended up going elsewhere, and then it had its own network there, the Pinwheel Network, for a little while, and then a little bit of stuff happened later on, and then Pinwheel Network became Nickelodeon, first network for kids. And it ran for a bit there. Initially some people might look at it and think it's just a knockoff of Sesame Street. You got human and puppet characters interacting, animated segments and stuff like that, and learning lessons and whatnot there. But it had its own charm to it there, you know? It worked with what budget it had there, and it told good stories, it had good writing, and it had great characters, you know? So I don't look at it as a rip-off of Sesame Street at all. I just look at it as another one of the same thing. It's like with Transformers and GoBots, you know? GoBots have a negative reputation, as SF Debris pointed out in that video about the Transformers, another great series I would definitely recommend checking out. Recommend anything by SF Debris. Definitely can't recommend it highly enough there. But to me, I thought they were cool. I mean, I was able to discern the difference between the two products there, and I like both of them. I like both toys and whatnot. I had fun with both of them, so what? You don't have to pick one or the other. You can like both. There's no big deal. You have to pick. Who says that you have to pick just one? If you have two franchises that are very similar to each other, who said you have to pick just one? If there's things about both that you like, then so what? You know? I mean, if there's a discernible difference between the two, that's it, you know? Like, okay, Sega versus Nintendo, WCW versus WWF or whatnot. I mean, come on, really, honestly. Pinwheel and Sesame Street. There you go. Plus, getting getting Pinwheel out there on DVD, it would actually give it an opportunity because there has never been any home media releases of Pinwheel of any sort. I mean, Sesame Street has had oodles of them over the years. But get the Pinwheel out there, and who knows? Maybe if they can, if Cole Films can find that clip that was the genesis for that lost media phenomenon, the Clockman, which was a cartoon catastrophe, I believe, if memory serves correctly. Someone did a great video about a short that scared a few people called the Clockman. Well, it was known as the Clockman. Which supposedly a lot of evidence points to it being real, and it was aired on an episode of Pinwheel in the 80s. I'll put a link to the video talking about that in the description below there, which is really cool. And it has a similar history to a segment that was lost, that was aired only a handful of times on Sesame Street, but did being found in that clip, and a great series from that same people that did the Pinwheel episode video, also did one on that Cracks. It's called Cracks. So, anyway, I'm rambling there, but Pinwheel, it's such an important part of Nickelodeon's history. I mean, if Nickelodeon would acknowledge that, and a little bit more. I mean, they did, like, when they had that, there was like a book, like a history of Nickelodeon or something, or like the oral history of Nickelodeon or something like that. They had a segment in the video package, and they showed bits of Cube and Pinwheel and whatnot there, you know. I would say let mainstream Nickelodeon embrace a little bit more of its history out there. You know, not that I expect it to be aired in the splat or anything, but I think once in a while, just give me a little tip to the hat there. It'd be pretty cool, but I digress. I would just like to see this Clockman short that everybody wants to talk about there, and see some episodes with Ebenezer T. Squint and those other characters and stuff there. You know? Good times, good memories. All right. Maybe we'll see you around, Pinwheel. Next. Number 7, Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde from 1995. And you people thought I was going to only talk about television shows on here. Well, you're dead wrong. We got a movie here, an actual theatrical movie released in 1995, and it was released on DVD in 2004, but the DVD is since long out of print. The cheapest copies I've been able to find of this damn movie are about $100 or so, which is right up there with Together and Clown House in terms of overpriced, rare DVDs that are ridiculously overexpensive there, you know. Although at least Together you can find on YouTube or whatever, to be fair, but still. And Clown House you can find on VHS, kinda. You know, it's easier to find than the DVD. It's less expensive than the DVD anyway, but I digress. So, yes, Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde. Okay, well, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know the story. A guy, scientist, invents a formula that creates a split personality or an evil version of himself. He turns into it, and it's like a werewolf type of thing there, you know, where, well, I mean the other way around, because, you know, people describe werewolves as like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Jekyll and Hyde type of thing. I mean the other way around. But basically, a person transforming between a good and a bad persona. Except this one also involved the gender transformation as well, which I had no idea that transformation videos are quite a thing on YouTube there. Kind of an unspoken thing, you know. I mean, on YouTube you got your cat videos, you got your baby videos, you got your animal videos, you got epic rap battles of history videos. And seriously, I got the perfect idea for one of those. Dorothy from Wizard of Oz and Alice from Alice in Wonderland. That would make like the best epic rap battles of That would make the best epic rap battles of history video ever. I actually said it. I actually got it out there. But anyway, Dr. Jekyll and Ms. Hyde. It has a very good cast there. The effects are laughable by the standards of the day, but it's entertaining enough there. And it's a cute little story there, trying to put a modern twist in the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing. And I would say, and also, it's just amazing because the DVD is pretty expensive, if you can find it on eBay or whatever, but the Laserdisc is pretty easy to find and not as expensive. I mean, if the Laserdisc copy of a movie is less expensive than the DVD version, then you have a problem. I would say just put this back out there as a manufacturer-on-demand title and see if people will buy it, you know? I'll buy it. Because I thought that movie was entertaining as hell, even though some of the transformation sequences are a bit laughable by today's standards, but I can imagine what they would do with this today. It just sounds like it would be like the most expensive adult film ever. No, I'm kidding. It's not that kind of movie, but just imagine if some adult company actually put a big budget into a movie like that. Oh man, that would just be like the weirdest thing ever. Huh. It would be pretty interesting to see, though. But anyway, I'm getting way off topic here. Let's get back on topic here. Let's see. What are we at here? This is number 7. Let's move on to the next number. Number 6, Back to the Beach from 1987. Yes, a little throwback to a lot of those beach blanket bingo movies with Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello. You got a pre-Full House Lori Loughlin. You got a cameo from Pee Wee Herman. You got Don Adams. You got Gilligan and the Skipper, Connie Francis, all these people coming in. Random music, shenanigans, all kinds of neat stuff going on there. And it's a lot of fun. It's a very entertaining movie, so I say can't go wrong with that, really. Put it out there as a manufacturer-on-demand bit there. And this is another one of those bits where the DVD is more expensive than the Laserdisc or VHS, which obviously means you have a problem. It was released on DVD briefly in 2 different flavors. It was a 2-set, 2 DVD set or whatever with another movie. I don't know if it was a flipper disc or if there were 2 discs in the package, probably a flipper disc or something. Or the other one being a solo one there, part of the archive collection, which I think was their equivalent of the manufacturer on demand at the time, or for releasing more obscure titles from Warner Brothers. I don't recall off the top of my head, unfortunately, but I would say put this out there as a fun little bit there, you know. And then, admittedly, it is kind of satisfying to see Frankie Avalon step on O.J. Simpson's hand there. If you, believe what he did, or if you don't believe what he did there. It's just satisfying, for some odd reason, in some odd meta kind of way. But, I don't know. Anyway, let's say we move on there to the next number, shall we?
Friends, I've been talking to you for some time now about the new DeSoto Automatic. I've told you about some of the wonderful things you can expect from the DeSoto. Of course, that's my job, and I get paid for it. But you can get paid too, paid in pleasure, and here's why. You're the only one who can tell whether DeSoto is the car for you. You're the one who has to be satisfied. That's why your DeSoto dealer invites you to come in and take a turn at the wheel of a DeSoto. You'll see how much easier and more comfortable driving can be. And after your ride, you're going to be absolutely amazed at the low price of this great car. You'll find it hard to believe that a car with all the features of a DeSoto and with DeSoto's performance can cost so little. So listen, don't miss out on this. When your DeSoto Plymouth dealer calls to say he's put a car at your disposal, take him up on it. Take a turn at the wheel of the one car that puts you ahead automatically. Then look at the price tag. The most pleasant surprise you're likely to get all summer.
Number 5, Turbo Teen from 1984/1985. Dear fucking Lord in heaven. So there actually was a bit there with a kid turning into a car. And I thought a man turning into a woman was going to be the weirdest thing on this list here. But yep, Hanna-Barbera made a cartoon where a kid turned into a red version of the car from Knight Rider. Yeah, the car in this was actually based on the same one as KITT was at the time there. So imagine if David Hasselhoff actually turned into KITT and you animated it, that's what you would have here. The transformation sequences are pretty infamous now. If you look them up on YouTube, it's pretty disturbing. I mean, it was the genesis of one of the most amusing and yet still kind of fucked up bits from Robot Chicken there, to say the least. Lampooning the ridiculousness of the concept, but still has a bit of a charm to it. It's just innocent charm there, trying to solve adventures, but you know, you have to never try to find a cure for this guy's condition of him transforming into a damn car. What is it with people in possessed cars? Herbie, My Mother the Car, all these Christine. What is it with cars, with cars that have human personality traits or whatever? Like, what is it with that? I mean, like, I don't understand the appeal of that, to be perfectly frank there. But I do remember seeing Turbo Teen segments and stuff on, like, the Cartoon Express and stuff like that, you know? I mean, hell, if Young Samson can get a DVD release, even though it's manufactured on demand, why not this? And I thought I was the only person on the planet that remembered Young Samson. That actually was pretty interesting, though. But I think Turbo Teen was even more so interesting. So I say give it a shot. Put it out there and see if it can get a cult following here, along with a whole new generation of viewers that can just appreciate the ridiculousness of the concept, though. So, yep. Let's move on, shall we? Turbo Teen. The name is still stupid, though. I'll give it that. Number 4, Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue from 1990. This will never happen. I know that. I understand that. But still, I'm putting it on the list there because shut up. One of the most successful animated propaganda films or pieces ever put together. Even though it's a positive propaganda thing, talking about the whole, anti-drug message there. And this had everything, because I like when diverse elements who normally don't interact with each other, crossovers. Even if I'm not a fan of one or both of the products, I enjoy that, because seeing what kind of stuff can happen from that mixture of two diverse elements is fascinating to me for some reason. You had Michelangelo from Ninja Turtles, you had the Muppet Babies, you had Huey, Dewey, and Louie, you had Bugs Bunny, you have Garfield, the Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks, animated Alf, okay, and a bunch of other characters, and it's just really, really nuts to see all these characters interacting with each other, trying to help this kid not do drugs and everything. And this was released on VHS, and it was commonly one of those free VHS releases that a lot of mom and pop shops would have, and Blockbuster would have, and stuff like that there. And the tapes are becoming a little harder to find. And I mean, yeah, you can find the special on YouTube easily enough, I guess. But, why not just work out some sort of issue, some sort of deal where you can have this available as a DVD release, and then put the proceeds to a charitable foundation to promote drug research and that sort of thing. There, because the message they had their heart in the right place. So why not put this out there on DVD? I mean, I know the licensing fees would be ridiculous and would make any sort of profitability on this extremely impractical, but one can dream, can't they? So, Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue. I never thought I'd live in a world where I'd actually miss President Bush and President Bush. Oh well. Next. Number Pi, Demon's Tomb. Okay, this classic PC game... sorry, wrong thing here. Let's try that again. Number 3, the Nickelodeon game shows. All of them. Nick Arcade, Guts, Double Dare, Legends of the Hidden Temple, and whatnot there. Figure it out. All of them. Okay, now FYI, Nickelodeon did release a DVD called Games and Sports, or GAS for short, based on their channel that had all their game shows on it and whatnot. Games and Sports shows, or whatever. And it had a few episodes on there, and I did order it. I own it. And it had the episode of Nick Arcade where Joey Fatone was on there. It had the episode of Guts where AJ McLean from Backstreet Boys was on there. Had a couple of episodes of all these great shows and such here. And some of these episodes could be found online or whatever if you want to see them. But why not have like a best of set for each of these shows for people who want to see them? I mean, heck, since they just did that Legends of the Hidden Temple TV movie thing on Nickelodeon, why not put a set out there of some of the best moments from Legends of the Hidden Temple, the show? And perhaps some, interviews with Kirk Fogg and Olmec. Well, the Olmec one would be funny, though. But, do some of that there, Why the heck not? But yeah, I know I'm kind of cheating putting a whole bunch of shows in one slot there, but fuck you, this is my list, and I'm going to do it there. And I'll be generous and say the Double Dare 2000 version as well, and all the different versions, like regular Double Dare, Super Sloppy Double Dare, Family Double Dare, Double Dare, Electric Boogaloo, whatever, all the different versions of it there. And, Nick Arcade, god damn, that guy had a lot of energy. Kudos to you there. It was a product of your time, but you were pretty awesome, though. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the Game Show Reviewers episodes on Double Dare, both versions of Double Dare, because there was a show with Alex Trebek, also called Double Dare from the 70s. Also, he talked about Guts and Nick Arcade and Legends of the Hidden Temple on his show there in his first season. So I recommend checking out his content there. He's awesome. I'll try to put a link in the description below so you can check his stuff out. Okay? So kudos to the Game Show Reviewer. And kudos to you, Nick, for producing some great stuff there. And I hope you come up with more Games and Sports DVD releases there for Manufacturer on Demand so we can get more of this stuff there. Because when I heard this was going to be a thing, I'm like, holy shit, I have to buy this. And I did. And I'm glad I did. Otherwise, how else was I going to get the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones without Manufacturer on Demand? One of my favorite movies there. And that was one that would have been on this list if it wasn't for the fact it was released on Manufacturer on Demand. So at least it's, good enough there. But thank you, Nickelodeon. Let's move on, shall we? Number 2, The Hogan Family. Yep, this is a pretty interesting one here, and this is one of the few shows that I'm still surprised has not been released on DVD in some fashion, but I guess once you learn about a bit about it there, then I guess it makes sense. It started off in 1986, and it went on until 1990 on NBC, and then it got another year on CBS. Originally, for its first year, it was called Valerie. Then the following year, it became Valerie's Family. But then I guess Valerie Harper or whatever, she was written off the show. She left or whatever. I don't know what happened, but she's not on the show anymore. But the show continued on without her, and then it became the Hogan Family. And then it went from being, it kind of did a little of what Family Matters did, but instead of it focusing on a main character and having all these crazy plots and stuff like that, it focused on the family and other characters and had all these strange plots and stuff as well, though. Like, I remember the episode where Sandy Duncan started smoking again. That was pretty surreal stuff there, to say the least. I mean, it falls somewhere between the whole after-school special thing, but also handling it with a little bit more grace and class there. And hey, it brought us just Jason Bateman, so can't go wrong there. Bottom line. Let's see here. Yeah, this show was on for a few years, and I don't know if it's because of Valerie Harper or whatnot there, but I don't know what issues are keeping the show from being released, but the show was popular for quite a while. I would say put it out there on DVD, test the waters for a DVD release and see what can happen. Who knows? Maybe I actually make some money on it there, I mean, if they can sort out issues like Batman from the 60s and WKRP in Cincinnati or whatnot, surely whatever issues that are related to this show can be, put aside and also, sorted out and such there. But we'll just have to just wait and see. Okay, and now we're ready for number one. Are you ready for it? I sure as hell don't think so, but we're going to go there anyway. And the new number one on here is Roger Rabbit and the Secrets of Toontown from 1988. For those of you that don't know what this was a special that was about an hour long that aired on cable TV. I believe it was on Showtime or whatnot. And it talked a little bit about the making of Roger Rabbit, while also giving you a bit of a history lesson about animation and where it was at up to this point. And it has excellent behind-the-scenes footage and stuff of how they made Roger Rabbit, and you learn a lot from it there. When Roger Rabbit was first released on DVD, it was one of the top movies that I wanted on DVD most that was not available at the time. And I was so happy, but then I became saddened when I found out that Roger Rabbit and the Secrets of Toontown, the special, was not released in conjunction with it. And I'm like, why? Why was this not put on the DVD? This is the perfect making of special here. It was made at the time, so you learn a little bit about it. And if you want, just add some new stuff to it to explain more about how stuff was done using the technology of the time, It was perfect. Okay, in regards to before, I mentioned earlier about the bit where in Sebastian's Caribbean Jamboree, where they took the animation and recycled it and just edited over the audio or whatnot there. Well, they do that here. Like the whole bit of Roger Rabbit standing next to somebody in the movie theater seat being dubbed over. They've done that a couple of times with Roger Rabbit there. And then this is the first instance of that. They edited the footage, and they got the girl that played the woman who played Eddie's girlfriend. I'm sorry, her name escapes me right now. They put her there, and she was talking about the show. I'm talking about the movie, rather, and how they made it. And they made it seem like he was right there next to her using the animation. But it was, you could tell the animation was recycled. It was, the voice didn't match the audio. And if you saw the movie a million times like I did, you know what segments were there for the animation bit there. But a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff of how they did is pretty interesting, especially when you see the guns and stuff floating in the air. It's pretty funny and pretty darn cool. And plus, you learn a little bit about some of the difficulties that they've had with mixing live-action footage and animation over the years, It's a pretty fascinating piece, and definitely one I highly recommend. It is on YouTube. It's not exactly the best video quality, but considering it's from 1988, it's a miracle we have this thing at all. I would love to see this thing cleaned up and learn a little bit more about how this stuff was made, But, I already saw it, and I've seen it numerous times, but you should see it for yourself, too. And who knows, maybe they will release it on DVD if they ever get around them. If they put Roger Rabbit on Blu-ray or something, maybe they'll, put Secrets of Toontown as a bonus feature. That would be glorious. I will double dip for that. That'd be worth it for me. All right, there we have it, folks. 17 more things on DVD or Blu-ray that are not on DVD or Blu-ray that I want. Eventually, I'll figure out what the hell the title is supposed to be here. But, yeah. I'd like to thank all of you for watching the video here and supporting the YouTube channel, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on Instagram as well, at David Porkchop for Twitter and for Instagram. Feel free to like, subscribe, throw comments in the comment section there, support the people that I brought up there before, just you take care of yourselves there, you filthy animals, and have a great day, all right? I'll catch y'all next time, whenever that'll be, if I can hopefully try to have something maintained within a normal schedule there. Laters!